Welcome to Defy Logic, where we hear about and talk about people who dare to overcome life's most challenging obstacles. I'm Bryant Lee, and I'll be your guide on this journey. So hang tight while we inspire you, challenge you, and dare you to defy logic.
Oh yea, oh yea, oh yea. All rise for the honorable judge of purpose. Court is now in session. The people versus you on the charge of burying your talents. You stand not in a regular courtroom, but in a sacred hall, one where time, truth, and eternity all collide. You aren't on trial for a crime of law, but for a crime of potential, of talent unused, of gifts buried, of purpose postponed. The judge looks like time itself, ageless, unwavering, watching generations pass through his hands. To your left, the prosecutor of truth stands. In his eyes, no malice, just conviction. He carries not arguments, but evidence. He steps forward. Your Honor, members of the jury, this soul was entrusted with talents, maybe 5, maybe 2, maybe just 1, but it was a gift. It was theirs to develop, grow, and multiply. But instead, they buried it. You turn to see the faces watching you, not strangers, but reflections. One looks like you, if you had followed through on that dream. Another wears the clothes of a teacher, a mentor, a speaker, roles you could have filled if you'd only believed. Exhibit A, the prosecutor continues, pulling out a canvas still blank. Exhibit B, a journal full of unwritten words. Exhibit C, a heart, yours, filled with regret. Then he drops the final piece of evidence on the stand, a single seed. This, he says, was never planted. It had the power to grow, to bear fruit, to feed nations, but it was hidden. And now we'll never know what it could have become. You cry out, I didn't know. I was scared. I was tired. I thought I had more time. But the judge raises his hand. Did you not hear the parable? One servant received 5 talents, another 2, and one received 1. And the one who buried his, he was not scolded for having less, but for doing nothing with what he was given. Then the witnesses take the stand. A child, you had the words to speak life into me, but stayed silent. A friend, you had the idea that could have changed everything, but you kept it to yourself. And finally, your future self, gray-haired, heavy-hearted, you waited too long. And then comes the truth you can't escape. It wasn't perfection you were being judged for, but faithfulness. You weren't expected to change the world in a day, but to multiply what you were given. But instead, you let fear dig the hole where your calling is buried. The jury leans in. Time waits. The gavel has not yet dropped, because this trial is still ongoing, not just for you, but for all. And right now, this is your moment on the stand. Have you used your gifts or talents, or have you buried them in busyness, fear, doubt, or delay? Who is waiting for you to stop hiding it? Who could be healed, helped, or changed if you just say yes? But one day the trial will end. And when it does, the question won't be, what did you earn? It will be, what did you do with what you were given? So I ask you, have you used your talents? How will you be judged? How will your jury decide? What's your Goliath? Change your thinking. Change yourself. Change your world. Defy logic.
Have a story about overcoming a Goliath by changing your thinking, yourself, and your world? We want to hear from you. Let your story motivate others to face their Goliaths and defy logic.